To do an Australian accent, you have to have kind of a throat full of straight up testicles. There's something in the back of my throat, and it sounds like I'm trying to swallow a big fat load of cum. Oh no! I am a sucker for a big fat load of Australian cum, though. Welcome back to What the Heck with Matt Bellassai, a podcast about what the heck is going on, what the heck is happening, and all the things that make me say, what the heck? The rumors are true, folks. I did, in fact, turn 36 years old this week. A terrifying milestone, especially once I realized in kind of a shocking, stoned moment during my birthday dinner that 36 is, in fact, 18 times 2. Which means I'm officially been a legal adult for as long as I've been an illegal child. And I don't like that at all. That can't possibly be true. There's no way I've lived as much life as an adult as I did as a child. But it turns out, yes, in fact, I have. And there's not much left. But no, I made it. I made it to 36. I'm officially in my late 30s. I know some people are shocked. I did go to an event and it was one of those events where they should have ID'd me. And they weren't checking for alcohol reasons. They were just looking at people's ID. No, I guess they were checking for alcohol reasons. Anyway, this lady was like, I don't have to ID you. And I was like, okay, well, fuck you, bitch. But also, yeah, obviously I have the hairline of an 89-year-old lady. So... Although that's not true. 89-year-old ladies have some of the thickest hair you've ever seen. And I'm not talking about the hair on their heads. Am I right, folks? High five. Anyway, that is enough about my birthday. Let's get into what the heck is going on this week. In my life, in addition to turning 36, I am also... Okay, I set up my parents' Ring camera. I'm not a huge fan of the Ring camera as a device and what it is doing to us culturally. Do we need to have a camera on everybody's doorstep? Probably not. Nothing good is coming from it. Remember that Super Bowl commercial where they were like, it helps us find dogs. Okay, sure. I'm sure it'll stop at just that. Definitely. But also because it's turned a lot of people into kind of get off my lawn neighborhood vigilante watchmen in a way that I do not like. You know, the way that people kind of get on their Ring cameras and then they're looking out. Oh, someone is pulling into my driveway. I better go kind of have a fit over it. People in the suburbs do not like when you pull into their driveway. Oh my God, you try to turn around in someone's driveway, chances are someone is like a 75-year-old woman is cocking a shotgun inside that house and she's ready to blast your face off for pulling into her driveway. I can imagine myself being the type of old person who would kind of freak the fuck out for someone pulling in my driveway because I can imagine not having anything going on for myself when I turn 80. When and if, knock on wood. But calm the fuck down. And that's it. It's we don't need more information. We don't need more visuals to get angry from. And that's what Ring camera is allowing. The point of this story is that I set up my parents' Ring camera a long time ago, and I still get their notifications because I like to spy on them. Case in point, I'm Big Brother for my family, apparently. I'm sort of watching them 1984 style and reporting on their crimes. The other day, I mostly ignore the notifications because it's usually just people, the regular goings-on of a suburban home. And then the other day I pulled it up because I was getting a bunch of notifications and there were 2 armed police officers with their weapons drawn running down the driveway of my parents' house. I was like, what the hell is going on? So I called my mom immediately and she was like, are you watching this? And I was like, yeah, what is happening? Are you safe? Yeah, it turns out there were just sort of some criminal activity in the area and the police were hunting down some type of suspect, allegedly. And then they were looking in at my parents' garbage can and mailbox. I guess the accusation was that someone had run through and perhaps dropped a weapon. I saw nobody else on the Ring camera except armed police officers, who I believe were illegally looking in the mailbox and garbage can, by the way. Although, is a mailbox technically government property?
I have no idea.
I'm still going to go ahead and say that the police violated my family's constitutional rights by looking into our mailbox for a weapon. There was nothing there. I think I allegedly, the story that I ended up getting was that they found whatever suspects they were looking for in a Dunkin' Donuts bathroom. But it was just like, nothing is more jarring than just casually picking up your phone to look at a Ring notification and seeing armed police officers running down the sidewalk. The funniest part of it is that my mom, in fact, called 911 on the police officers that she saw. Because she was like, what are they doing here? How do I know they're even real police officers? They weren't trying to interact with her in any way. It wasn't like she was like, how do I know if I can trust this person? But she still called. I'm like, I guess that is a use of 911 that I can get behind. Mm-hmm. Who's watching The Watchmen? Debbie. On the topic of Debbie, actually, we had to have a talk with her about how much she was commenting on literally every post on the internet. Almost anything that I or my friends were posting on the internet, my mom was the first comment. Within like 60 seconds, she was commenting. And it's because she was riding the high off of a comment she made one time on one of my videos that got like several thousand likes or something. And she has been chasing that high ever since. Anyway, we had to talk about it. My brother had to be like, it's kind of like the equivalent of you dropping us off at school and then not leaving. It's like that same kind of dynamic as when you're a kid and you're like, okay, that's enough. You can go now.
Aw, Debbie.
Yeah, no, she did kind of pretty quickly turn it into like, you'll miss this when I'm gone. Yeah, we slid into emotional manipulation pretty quickly, I would say. She said it in a joking way, but also in a manner in which I know that she believes that. Anyway, the point is, fuck the Ring camera. I would play the footage, actually, if I weren't afraid of people doxing my my parents. Because not that I think there's anything identifying, but there are scenarios. There's that one kind of like autistic, hawk-eyed man on TikTok who's able to like geolocate any location based on a single blade of grass. I don't know what flavor of, the spectrum he has, but it's made him into some type of like FBI super informant. I don't understand, if they haven't already, how the FBI has not kind of like commissioned that man or like essentially imprisoned him. Do you know the man I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
I don't even know his name. It's this skinny white guy who has this unnatural superpower. There is this website, like it's kind of a game where Google Earth will kind of randomly show you a part of the world, and you have to kind of pinpoint on the map where you think it is. And he is able to do it within meters every single time for the world. It will show you a random roadside, like zoomed in, and he'll be like, that's Nigeria. And it's like, not only is it Nigeria, but it is this specific like corner of Nigeria. And it is so shocking. And I don't understand like how he hasn't found every kidnapping victim in the last 10 years. Culturally, we can wrap our heads around like psychic dogs finding people more than we can that guy. And I don't understand how they haven't basically commissioned him to be like, where is that? I don't know. It's just a suggestion. Apparently the police are too busy running up and down a suburban driveway. But no, I am spying on that camera because also later that same day, I spied a very attractive pizza delivery man bringing pizza to my brother. And I was like, let me watch this for a second, actually. I watched the whole interaction. My brother was like, I think we ordered a soup also. And the guy was like, oh, hold on, let me go get it. And I was like, yeah, let me watch him walk away and then come back with the soup.
Suddenly your parents are like, why are we getting so much pizza from this place?
Yeah, I'm just placing a delivery order from 1,000 miles away just so I can see the man. Next, You may have heard that there exists a world in which single people are only legally allowed to have sex one night a year. Yeah, a world in which Dua Lipa's sexy, big-eared boyfriend, husband, Callum Turner, is somehow unable to get someone to let him stick it in on the very night where single people are allowed to have sex legally. This is a world, of course, that is captured in the film One Night Only, which I had the distinct displeasure of getting an early screening to. So I went to a screening. I was someone's +1 for a screening. So let me reiterate that these are my opinions only and not those of anybody associated with me. And also, I checked the date and the embargo on reviews lifted on August 5th, so I can talk shit about this movie. But I mean, if you have somehow escaped this film in the last year that we have been subjected to the trailer playing before every movie I've seen, it is a kind of will they, won't they rom-com set in a apparent like theocratic fascist state in which single people are allowed to have sex one day a year. And yeah, I like, do I have 1,000 questions about this film? Absolutely. Going into it, did I have 1,000 questions? Yes. Going out, guess what? I got even more questions. I left more confused than I did going in. Just to get the obvious, let me be your sort of guide to this film and answer some of the basic questions that you've been wondering. One, how do they enforce this ban? Let me explain the science of it, because you better believe they spend half of the movie explaining how the fuck this works. It is every person in America, apparently, gets a biometric sensor tattooed on them in any shape that you want, actually, on your wrist. And it's either green if you're married and therefore you're allowed to have sex whenever you want, or it's red, meaning you're single and I guess you'll get killed if you try to have sex outside of marriage. But the one night a year that it's legal, the sensor turns green for everybody, and it's just kind of a countrywide bang fest. I have several other questions that were not addressed by the film, namely, whose idea was this? And can I gather enough people with torches and pitchforks to make sure they never make a movie again? But some of the other kind of rapid fire questions I'd like to go through.
Yes.
Here we go. 1, is jerking off allowed? Can you jerk it in the same room with someone else? If so, is dry humping allowed? Is hand or mouth stuff of any kind allowed, or is it just kind of P and V? In which case I understand why gay people maybe are getting around it, because we're not doing P and V. But is P and A allowed? And is P and A allowed for straight people? Is porn legal? Do the porn stars have to be married? Is divorce allowed? Can you get married and then get divorced directly after you bust? Can a married person have sex with another married person who they are not in a relationship with? Because both your tattoos are green for go on busting. Can you just bust with any other green person? Can all married people just be having orgies? I don't know. These are questions that were not answered. Why, are guns legal in this world? And if so, why wasn't there kind of a January 6th moment the second this law was passed? I think if this happened in the real world, there would be, January 6th would look like a picnic. They would be tearing down, give it 48 hours, they would be tearing down the White House with their raw boners. But yeah, what happens if you're on your period that one night? I guess you just have bloody period sex. I'm going to throw up. Can't think about that. Yeah, I just don't. Why wouldn't everybody just move to another country where fucking is legal? It's there's no effort in this movie to explain how living in the United States is so much better than anywhere else otherwise. And it kind of makes you think oh, I guess kind of fucking whoever you want is what makes America great. What happens if you're just making out with someone and then you accidentally bust in your pants? Right. Does that count? If they're going to shoot you? But also, again, is it just P and V that is not allowed? Where do Mormons fall in all of this? Can you do the jumping in bed sort of Mormon loophole? Was there some kind of violent civil war that was fought over this law? And this is just the aftermath. When do you get the tattoo? And are like horny teenagers just being put to death? Or do you not get the tattoo until you're like 18 and therefore you can just kind of fuck whoever you want until then? And my last most important question is, how long did Callum Turner study that American accent and why wasn't it longer? Listen, one of the most beautiful men. I find Callum Turner like endlessly appealing. I would grab onto those ears and ride that wave like a jet ski. Okay, is he British? He's British. Yeah. I always forget because sometimes they're Australian, and that kind of hits you in a way that you're not expecting. At this event, there were a couple of Australian TikTokers in front of me. And when you hear an Australian person hit the "ner" in real life, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. It hits the ears. So you're like, they're really saying it like that. "Ner. Ner." Oh, by the way, two Australian TikTokers were talking to two British TikTokers. Thought they were all British for a solid first 3 minutes until she said "ner." And I was like, ooh, I got that pretty off by several thousand kilometers. The particular event that I went to happened to have a lot of TikTokers there. And once again, I was a +1. I was not invited to this event. That being said, watching a film in a room full of TikTokers is a hell that I would not wish upon my worst enemy. If you thought watching a movie in public these days was bad with just normal people, imagine doing that in a room with some of the most mentally ill people that have been given microphones and cameras. I don't want it to ever happen to me again. I barely got out alive. Yeah, there was a girl in front of me who was posting on Instagram full brightness on her phone. And it wasn't even a photograph, because I could see the photograph in clear 4K. And the movie had started, we were in darkness, and her phone is on full brightness. She's posting a photograph that I could see clearly, which was not from this event. It was from just earlier in the day or another day. She was writing out a whole caption over her story. And was I kind of passive aggressive about it at first and made several comments that I thought she could overhear? Yeah. Did I skip immediately from passive aggressive to outright aggressive? No. Forgetting that there is kind of a polite in between where you just ask someone to turn their phone off? I did. Because I leaned forward and I was like, can you turn that off? It's so bright. And she honestly wasn't ashamed enough. She was like, yeah, sorry, I'll turn it off. But I think she should have been more embarrassed. And then I felt bad because I was like, wow, I was kind of a dick to her. And even though I could see her head was still down and she was still editing the photograph, I couldn't see the phone anymore. So it didn't really bother me. But I was like, you. And then the British people next to them were also talking the whole time, just commenting on the entire movie. And that's another problem with TikTokers, because everybody thinks that they, if you have a TikTok account with a certain number of followers, you think, oh, everyone wants to hear everything I have to say. I don't want to hear what you have to say. It's not good. I do like hearing British people, though, normally. But I'm not here to watch the British person's director's cut of One Night Only. When I already have a bunch of other questions going on. Anyway, in other movie news, I believe it was A24, right? That dropped the trailer for Wicker, a movie starring Academy Award winner Olivia Colman as this outcast fisherwoman who is living in this old-timey fishing village, who commissions the local basket maker, Peter Dinklage, to fashion her a husband made out of, you guessed it, wicker. He does make her this kind of walking, talking wicker sex doll played by Alexander Skarsgård, and she fucks him silly, and that's sort of the film. I'll be front row seated. IMAX 70 millimeter, watching it the way Olivia Colman intended. A lot of people are very worried about splinters, which does sort of beg the question, and this is something that I was thinking about very seriously. What is wicker even? Is it wood?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad we established that. It seems like everybody else is kind of like fully aware of that fact, and I'm the only one who wasn't. I don't know. What the fuck is wicker? I guess wicker is like it's plastic, isn't it?
No. It's technically wicker is the technique. It's a weaving technique, and you can weave with different materials. Historically, you are weaving with strips of a type of wood, like bamboo or willow or reed.
Something wooden. Yeah, something woven and wooden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's wooden. This dick, after seeing Alexander Skarsgård. I do think if A24 doesn't come out with the promotional wicker dildo, they need to shut that whole movie studio down. I've had enough of them. And I better be the first customer. I'll take one for the team and test it out. The Wicker Man dildo. It does. I mean, if you haven't seen the trailer, Alexander Skarsgård looks ridiculous. I haven't watched the UK trailer, which I guess has full-blown wicker peen in it. Allegedly. But yeah, I am very excited to find out what the promotional tie-ins for that movie will be, if any. I don't know if they're good. I don't know if this is the type of movie where they're like, we got to roll out the special popcorn bucket. It's usually, like Spider-Man and the Odyssey. And not this small film about, a fuckable wicker man. But maybe now, I think everybody just got to keep it up. If we all collectively demand the wicker dildo, we'll get it. And if not, first what the heck merch item. Moving on. Have we heard about the Australian Birdman?
No.
Let me just play this Australian clip. Obviously, I am mostly into the accents that are happening here, but the story itself is also insane.
Is he simply a bird lover or a complete galah?
I don't know what the fuck a galah is. Galah. Is he, what does she say?
Is he simply a bird lover or a complete galah?
Is he simply a bird lover or a complete galah? I don't know. A Galah?
It's a common Australian cockatoo known for its distinctive pink and gray plumage.
I see. So maybe they use it. It's okay. A galah is a name of a bird, an Australian bird, but maybe they use it like a loon or something.
They use it as an insult.
Right. Oh, you're such a loon. But they don't have loons. They have galahs. Anyway.
He appears out of nowhere on his pre-dawn raids, face covered, saying nothing, armed only with birdseed. Then he disappears, leaving angry locals to deal with the noise and mayhem.
What on earth are you doing? What an awfully strange hobby. You're really ruffling some feathers around here, Mr. Birdman.
It's really just that line that got me. You're really ruffling some feathers around here, Mr. Birdman. She'd waited her entire life to deliver that line to the Birdman. Okay, let me summarize this story instead of watching this full clip. There is a man in Australia who has mysteriously taken, in the middle of the night, to dumping 2 large buckets of birdseed that has attracted hundreds of birds to this apartment block. And it's driving people crazy. There are flocks and flocks of birds. Oh, there is a part where they talk about how much shit is just everywhere.
Like hell just breaks loose.
There so many birds.
There could be a poo explosion going on for these poor residents.
Does that mean you get pooed on regularly?
At one point in this video, the reporter she pulls out a decibel meter, and they take the measure of how loud these birds collectively are, and it's something because I'm still getting a lot of Odyssey content. You thought I was going to talk about it this episode. And they measured the decibel level of the Cyclops' scream was 125 decibels, which is like one of the loudest in a movie theater of any movie. The birds almost reached that. So imagine every morning you're just hearing essentially the Cyclops screech coming from the hundreds of birds that have collected outside because some man just keeps coming and dropping birdseed everywhere. It's literally crazy. No. You kind of have to to do an Australian accent, you have to have kind of a throat full of straight up testicles. There's something in the back of my throat, and it sounds like I'm trying to swallow a big fat load of cum.
Oh no.
I am a sucker for a big fat load of Australian cum, though. I don't know if that is budgie smugglers. At first I thought that was Australian slang for like Speedos. Budgie smugglers. I think it's a brand of Australian Speedos called Budgie Smugglers. I'm beginning a lot of Australian content, including this. It's still a mystery. I guess they're working with like local police to try to figure out what this guy's motive is. They're saying that like it maybe is a guy who has like an ex in the building and is doing this as like vengeance. Or is being paid by someone to like specifically that this is like a targeted attack.
Wow.
Or just someone who loves birds. Is he a bird lover or is he a complete galah? Now you know, but we don't know. And finally, in terms of what the heck is going on, did you see that terrible national anthem? One genre video that I'm always going to love is people singing the national anthem in a way that is borderline offensive to America, especially now. It's like, yeah, it's kind of an act of resistance in many ways. And yeah, it's been hotly debated whether this particular performance is an act of resistance because it is so terrible. It was at, what is the WPBL?
I don't know.
The Women's Pro Baseball League. So yeah, we're not taking it too seriously over there. I mean, they're not really shelling out for top talent to come and perform the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. Ooh.
Oh my God. I like how at that point, so there's three women singing. One of them is kind of dominating. She's going so far ahead of the other two. But the other two at one point just give up and kind of let her take over.
Or the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I've never felt more patriotic. Shout out Patriot. But yeah, no, I mean, that will sort of go on. I think Gay Guy Music Video Night should include that rendition of the national anthem forever. It should begin with that. I would love to know who those people are. Women's Pro Baseball League gets started with brutal national anthem rendition. Oh, she's like an 85-year-old lady. The Women's Pro Baseball League started Saturday with a game between the Los Angeles Queens and the New York Heights. But sports fans were seemingly drawn to the festivities before the first pitch was thrown. Once I lock in, Martha Reeves, the lead singer of the Motown group Martha and the Vandellas. Wait, that's like a famous... Wait, so these are not just three random ladies? One of their hits, oh right, Dancing in the Street. Yeah. Martha and the Vandellas. She was among those who were tapped to sing the national anthem before the game. So it was Martha from Martha and the Vandellas, but then two just other ladies who are not one of the Vandellas or two of the Vandellas. Okay, shut the fuck up. The way it was a sour tune to start an otherwise historic night for women's baseball. It was the first women's pro baseball game played in the U.S. in nearly 3 decades.
What?
Oh my God. Oh, so I guess women like kind of haven't been doing baseball
Right.
professionally.
Softball is different from baseball.
Right, that's so true because women, you can't be doing hardball.
No.
Women can only be doing softball.
Yeah.
And now for the first time in apparently 30 years, women's baseball is back. And that's how they kicked it off. And I think it's beautiful. And I think fuck everybody who's making fun of it. And fuck everybody who doesn't think that that is beautiful. I think every rendition of the national anthem should be as insane as that. And also she's 85. So like everyone calm down. Like, if you actually watch that and think it's disrespectful, you're a loser.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you are a big fat loser. And it's like, it's a song. Everybody calm the fuck down. There was that other video a couple weeks ago at like a baseball, or maybe it was a World Cup game that they were performing at. And this kid, this like teenager wasn't standing while they sang the national anthem. And some old ass man like slapped him upside the head. And of course it was like that video was clipped and it became just a viral kind of Rorschach test because half of the country viewed it and they were like, fuck off, old man. And the other half were like, it's time someone stood up for singing this song. It's a song. It doesn't fucking matter. I get so whenever people like get upset about those stupid little things, it's like we have bigger. There's people that are dying, Kim. Moving on to the What the Heck hotline, which is, of course, the number that anybody can call to leave your What the Heck of the week. 407 WTH Matt. Whatever's making you say, what the heck? Let's hear this week's caller.
Hi, Matt. This is Erica calling from Boston, Mass. I just wanted to call and say what the heck to people that are driving in convertibles alone. It's like so embarrassing. It's like, okay, chill out. Like, why are you driving with the top down, like, alone? Like, don't you have any friends? Or it's just, it makes me uncomfortable. But that's all. Love you. Bye.
Okay. Interesting. I think.
This is the funniest thing.
Let me unpack this. I thought it was going in one direction very, very quickly into that phone call. And then it kind of took a turn that I wasn't expecting. So at first I thought you were just saying, why are people driving convertibles? Okay, fair point. You know, not for everybody. But then you kept talking. And you said convertibles alone. Driving a convertible alone. And I am sort of fascinated by what you think is happening with the addition of another person or multiple other people that makes it acceptable. Is it like driving a convertible should only be used as a type of like pickup method or sort of...
I think there's like a collective joy and like, woohoo, look at us, woo, we're all in this, but you're doing it alone and it's like kind of pathetic.
Okay, can a single person not experience joy and whimsy? What are we living in the one night only universe where single people are you have to have a fuck partner? You have to be married in order to drive with a convertible?
Or have friends.
Well, sure, but maybe you're just driving to the grocery store and you want to kind of go a little crazy with it. Do you not roll the windows down by yourself? Or is there something about the roof being not there? I don't like that you've put me in the position of defending people with convertibles in the first place. Because I think historically having a convertible was always kind of a douchebag thing.
Exactly.
Right. So if you're doing it alone,
it's even more douchebag.
Oh, so I guess Stuart Little is a douchebag, huh? Oh, so I guess Stuart Little is not allowed to drive with his convertibles top down in this universe, apparently, because you will judge him for it. No, yeah, I would say I'm not really thinking about people driving convertibles that much. I'll tell you what, I've never even been in a convertible.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's that common, actually. I feel like a convertible is more of a, it's kind of a rare type of vehicle to spot.
Yeah.
I just think I'm like, to me, maybe it's the mood that I'm in currently of like, I think it's, why not let the top down, feel the rain on your skin, whatever she said. Does she even talk about a convertible in that song, or is no? Moving on to my what the hecks of the week, all the stuff that's making me say what the heck. I was going to do the 36 things that I'm regretting about turning 36. But then I sort of thought, I don't want to bring that energy into the beginning of my 36th year. I don't want to sully turning 36 by just immediately bitching about how much I hate being this age, because I don't. We're bringing joy. We're putting the convertible top down in the year 36, and I'm driving this bitch myself. So we're not doing the things that I don't like about turning 36. We're just doing things that I generally hate. Starting with pharmaceutical brands that are using existing songs as jingles. Cut that shit out. What do you mean we're doing Ozempic? Was that a recognizable song whatsoever? Was my rendition of it recognizable in any way? Or the look out, 'cause here I come. That's what they're doing for Wegovy. Wegovy. No! You cannot do that. That is against the laws of jingles. And yeah, is the main character in the One Night Only movie a singer of songs that are used in pharmaceutical ads? Yes. But I will say that this was on my list of what the hecks before I saw that film. And I've been meaning to complain about this for a long time. One thing that RFK Jr. does need to be doing, except whatever the fuck he is doing, is getting rid of pharmaceutical ads to begin with. Literally a crazy thing that there are some channels that you watch. This is true on like whatever I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race on. It changes every 3 months because they can't seem to pick a damn place to air that show on. Every commercial break is about 30 minutes of nonstop pharmaceutical ads. Tell me about a disease I didn't even know existed. Oh, I still don't know what the fuck Skyrizi is. And I'm not going to learn until I get whatever ailment it's curing. I don't think pharmaceuticals need jingles, first of all. Second of all, if you're going to do a jingle, write a goddamn jingle. Get your fucking Big Pharma wallets out and pay a writer to actually make up a jingle for you. Bring back jingles. We haven't had a good jingle. If I hear the fucking Liberty song one more time, I'm going to blow my brains out. I need a new jingle. I need new jingles. I need other brands to be introducing the jingle. Give us good mascot. Give us good jingle. And it's never the good medications that you want anyway. Where's the Mucinex Monsters jingle? Give him a little song to sing. Next! Filming strangers in public. A lot of people are getting way too comfortable filming outright strangers. Yeah, maybe they're doing something crazy. Maybe they're doing something they shouldn't. But filming someone and then posting it on the internet when you can just, I mean, a lot of the internet is just people who need to have friends and kind of talk to people in their life. Text that to the group chat instead of posting it on TikTok for, 3 million people to see. In the last couple of weeks, there was a new kind of couple that got caught making out with one another. We're calling on a year since the Coldplay couple, and their lives kind of fell apart, all because they were just like kind of canoodling in public. And people were like, okay, we should kind of put them to death. The latest version is there was this man and woman kind of making out on a bench in either Central Park or Madison Square Park. And this, I don't know, a loser Gen Z guy was like, he went up to them and was like, there's kids around. Okay. People can't make out with one another just when kids are around. The kids know what making out is. But the way that the couple kind of reacted when the guy didn't just say there's kids around, you need to stop. He filmed them and put his phone in their face and was like, there's kids around. And the way that they did react when they saw the camera, immediately everybody was like, oh, they're cheating with one another. And it turns out they are. I don't like this attitude that everybody, because you have a phone in your hand, is able to be some type of kind of watchman, that you have the right to just record anybody you want, post it on the internet, and then millions of people will shame someone just because you personally didn't like what they were doing. Like, even if they were just fully blown cheating on their spouses, that's not illegal. I mean, that's the thing about the Coldplay people. It's like, okay, that they were having an affair. I don't think she should have lost her job over it. I think we need to get a little bit better about sinning. Everybody go out and sin a little bit. What's so bad about that? It's like, okay, don't break the law, I guess, unless it's for a good reason. But like, don't, why? Yeah, everybody is being such like, what are you, my mom?
What are you, Jen Narc?
Yeah. Keep your mouth shut. That's what I learned as a kid. Hey, don't tell anybody about this. Don't tell your mom about this. Hey, shh, this is just between us. That's what they would say. They'd say, no, don't tell any other adults about this. Next, I've seen a number of videos of people preaching on airplanes, and you better knock that shit off right now before I call Homeland Security on your ass and they're taking us all out, bazooka style. I'm calling Dick Cheney and I'm saying you better launch those jets to take this plane out of the sky, because if you're preaching on an airplane, I'm already pissed off. Now I'm in church. No. There's one lady in particular, and I'm hesitant to even invoke her like vaguely, because she only did this for attention. But it was this woman who got kicked off of a flight recently. I think she is like a TikToker, content creator, who got kicked off of a flight because I guess they were delayed for a little while, and then she started getting up and like preaching about Jesus. I guess the connection was her saying like, maybe this is a good thing. Like, maybe this is Jesus looking out for us, and this is why you should accept him as your Lord and Savior, because like maybe he's protecting us from something bad that was going to happen. And it's like, okay, first of all, if this were anybody but a Christian person standing up, they would have snipers aimed at the airplane in 5 minutes or less. Then the video continues. She gets kicked off of the flight, and I liked the energy that the flight attendant was giving her, because he was like, I'm not even engaging with you. I'm not giving you anything. Just get your shit and get off the flight. And then she starts talking to the police officers after she gets off the flight, and she was like, and I could tell the flight attendant was gay. And so I don't think he liked that, because he knew he's living in sin. And the police officers also were like, You could tell that they didn't give a shit about it. Like, they weren't giving her anything. Ugh, nothing a Christian loves more than kind of making themselves a martyr. And finally, my what the hey of the week. The thing that's making me say, hey. It makes sense. Just go with it. My opposite of my what the heck's. This week, I mean, I'm still in Odyssey mode. I'm still in Ancient Greece mode. Just finished Circe by Madeline Miller, which I read it like 10 years ago or whenever it came out, 2018 maybe. And it didn't quite hit when I read it. This time around, I just read it again. And especially after seeing the Odyssey and seeing Circe in the Odyssey, it hit hard. It's a really great retelling of the kind of story of Circe. Circe in the Odysseys, you know, the witch that turns Odysseus's men into pigs. That's kind of all she is in the Odyssey. And Madeline Miller takes that story and makes it into this like really great, beautiful kind of life story of Circe. So I do recommend that. I've seen some people online being like kind of looking down on, oh, you were inspired by the Odyssey, and rather than going and picking up like Homer, you go and pick up like Circe or Song of Achilles or something. And it's like, shut the fuck up. And also, if that's your like entry point into this world, then great. If that gets someone excited about then going and reading Homer after reading Circe or Song of Achilles or something, then that's good. Don't be such a stuck-up bitch about it. Then the other thing that is really bringing me joy that I forgot it was bringing me joy is House of the Dragon. Yeah. What a great, amazing show. It's got everything. People stabbing each other. Or dragons going roar. Fire. Boobies. Although there hasn't really been that many boobies. Not that I've seen. I'm still behind. I'm going to try to catch up before, I think the season finale is this upcoming weekend. But I'm going to try to catch up because I will say, I think last week I was complaining about how I don't remember shit about this series. I did have to go back. I did have to start watching it from the beginning, but I did that. And now I'm all caught up and it's exciting. I forgot how much I loved the show and like how great the actors are. So yeah, shout out to House of the Dragon. Big fan. Excited about the finale, if it is in fact the finale week. And that's it for this week's episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching, which you should be, make sure you leave a comment, review. Only if it's nice. I don't want to hear your shit. Call into the What the Heck hotline. Keep on listening, keep on reviewing, keep on sharing, and that's it. We'll see you next week. Bye.
This has been an episode of What the Heck with Matt Bellassai. You can call and leave us a voicemail about what's making you say what the heck this week, and you might be featured on a future episode. Call us at 407-984-6288. That's 407-WTH-MATT. What the Heck with Matt Bellassai is produced by Same Boat Studios and Bellassai Productions. It's hosted by me, Matt Bellassai. Our executive producers are Gabrielle Lewis, Barry Finkel, and me, Matt Bellassai. Erica Glass is our senior producer. Our video editors are Matt Bellassai and Erica Glass. Production designed by Erica Glass, Matt Bellassai, and Barry Finkel. Our theme music is courtesy of EpidemicSound.com. Special thanks to Truffles Bellassai.